Hello everyone, welcome to Eternal Brews. My name is Pojo, and we're going to be trying something untested tonight. It is just before Christmas. I am going to be heading off in like a couple of hours, and I figured since I had a few hours, I'd try to just play around with this idea I had around using Explorers as an aggro sort of tempo deck. Someone was asking about this in the Reddit, so I thought that we'd fiddle around with it a little bit and see if we could make Explorers really good in sort of the early game. And what I came up with, I actually really ended up liking quite a bit. It's actually something that I really want to add the new Praxis card to, the zero-cost relic that is otherwise quite terrible, because this deck really cares about you having relics, and it basically just tries to work around all of the different like cool things that you can do with relics as an explorer. So we have Lucky Prospector, the +2/+2 when you have a relic. Miner's Musket, which is an actual relic, of course. We have cards like Trailmaker, which is the extra maximum power. We have Seasoned Spelunker, who has +1/+1 when you have a relic. Temple Raider, +2/+2 when you have a relic, and Parapet Sentry, +1/+1 when you have a relic. So lots of things that really care about relics in particular, and then our relics that we are using are, first off, we have the Miner's Musket early on. We run the Dig Site to give Explorers big bonuses. We run Xenan Obelisks because they're just one of the best cards that you can have at 4, and we're running Ancient Defenses as a sort of pseudo torch at 4 that you can use to buff up your Sentinels and also make other bad things happen to your opponents. This deck can also work pretty well with Power Stones. In fact, I may swap a few of those out exactly right now. We were playing with several Parapet Sentries, but I'm actually thinking I'm going to cut one Fire Sigil, cut a Ancient Defenses, and we're going to up the deck by 2 Power Stones because that's a really nice early relic that can get you to those sort of like explosive finishes. And yeah, well, let's just see if we can find it. There we go. Alright, and that should about set things where we want it to be. This deck can also use Crest of Impulses. I want to have 4 Miner's Muskets here, but we're making some substitutions because basically I don't have 4 Miner's Muskets yet. We're still building our collection, trying to figure out everything that we can put together on a budget. I will have a lot of more time to draft over the weekend, so hopefully we'll be getting quite a few of the rares that we need for our collection as a result of that kind of drafting, and pretty excited to do that. Well, this is going to be a quick one. This is a fully experimental brew. We haven't even tested this yet, so all of the recordings are just going to be us testing out the deck, seeing how it feels, maybe even making some modifications, because we haven't really done much of that. We might even title this segment differently, like Building Brews or something along those lines, just because, yeah, like that's actually a thing that I want to explore, is how I build decks and how I sort of modify them over time. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and get into a game, and I will see you in just a second, folks. All right, first attempt, and what have we got? We've got access to a Lucky Prospector that I can't play until a future turn. I have Xenan Obelisk, which I do really like, and I have Torch and Pummel, but I think on one unit, this is probably going to be something we want to toss back. I am using that one of Ask for Directions. I think it's a very cute card here, and yeah, it should be kind of cool. Okay, so we get to go Power Stone into Xenan Obelisk. I think that's a reasonable start, and we might even be able to get like a decent amount of access that way. I could also play down Seasoned Spelunker on 3, and I might do that instead, just because it's a fairly decent card here. However, I also like Ancient Defenses to blow up this Mirror's Nightshade, and also get me up some Sentinels later on. Alright, looks like we can easily Season Spelunker here and just end my turn. I am risking some sort of Annihilate, but I think we're going to make it. Permafrost is a real card, sure, and we'll just Torch Mirrors. I don't have any Sentinels yet, so something like Ancient Defenses would be a pretty good idea. Mirrors is now a bigger unit, and that's kind of an issue right now. Obelisk will get me a Temple Raider for 3, and Ancient Defenses will deal 3 damage to an enemy. I think I want the Obelisk first, or I could go for the Temple Raider and try and push a little bit of damage. I can also play the Seasoned Spelunker's Power Stone, which is not a bad idea here. Let's go ahead and go with... You know what, I like that Power Stone plan. That ramps us up to 6, and then we'll be pretty close to actually just playing Obelisk into Temple Raider, which is a pretty good deal. Ancient Defenses would be nice here. I'm not really getting a lot of gas out of it. So maybe we'll just lead with a Temple Raider, attack for 2, and then after we kill Mirus, I'll have a bit better time. Alright, I'm just going to throw the Obelisk now. Could have gotten the 3 damage there, but obviously we would have gotten a block if that had happened.
A single shot is all it takes.
Alright, Argenport Instigator is a pretty cool 3/3. We're obviously going to be throwing Ancient Defenses, which gets our Temple Raiders to 4/4. And our opponent's stuck on 2 right now, so not a great demonstrator that the deck is doing all that well, but could be something that we can play around with. Alright, Annihilate there. I'm guessing Mirus might stay back. No, he's actually continuing to push. I'm fairly surprised by that. We'll attack for 4. And then Parapet Sentry will deal 3 damage to him. And I should have attacked for 6 here. Still getting used to the deck properties. So I missed 2 damage. We'll have to mark that. And Parapet Sentry is a 9/6 due to the relic. Alright, Annihilate hurts there, but we have, of course, a 6/6. Dig Site is a pretty dang good card, and I'm going to go ahead and use that to bounce. Ooh, I could bounce Seasoned Spelunker to get a better unit and also get another Power Stone, or I could bounce Mirus. And I'm actually not sure which is best. I think bouncing Mirus makes the most sense. But bouncing Seasoned Spelunker is pretty cool too. This is going to be a 6/6. Nah, we got to bounce Mirus here. There's too many risks that could occur. Like, we need him to basically be throwing removal on other things, and yeah, just getting our charge units out is definitely the way to go here.
Just a touch of poison.
There comes Mirus. Wow, and an exhausted Zelia. She's got deadly already, so we're just gonna have to basically attack straight into her. Nothing we can do about that. Throw the Seasoned Spelunker. And why not get a Power Stone? This deck can get up in power quite quickly with the Seasoned Spelunker. We might even add something at the top end to take advantage of that. Not sure what, though. Alright, don't love the Deadly Confrontation. There's enough removal here that we're in trouble. But Oni Cavediver will at least hold the fort. And we'll pay 2 to scout. Trailmaker, not doing a lot for me here. It is another card that I can use to kill them, but I think I'm actually going to try and find some burn. A Torch or just a Purify would do the best here. Okay, well, this gets rid of Mirus, and I think that's the best way for me to go. Like, we can't just wait for him to have removal, because, you know, that'll be bad for us. Oh, you know what I might have missed? Throwing back my own Ancient Defenses for 3 damage would have been a pretty good way to go about this. All the experiments. There's some interesting ways to push. Alright. If we find another dig site, we can win with that. If we find a torch, we can win with that.
You'll never catch me alive.
Daring Pioneer is not exactly what I'm looking for. In fact, it's pretty bad for me, but we'll see. Found a Pummel. That's not bad, but it's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for burn. I need dig site or I need torch. And of course, if he's got an Annihilate or something here, we're dead.
Take your last breath.
Midnight Gale is pretty big, but with Temple Raider, we force a block. So he's going to lose both of these units.
Find your own tomb.
Unfortunately, that leaves me still empty looking for that torch. So we're both just at odds with each other. It's a really tight game. Zelia can play Afflictions. Granite Waystone can make me a blocker, but that's not actually going to do it because Zelia's going to kill that. Oh wait, no. How much does Zelia's Afflictions cost? 4? So she can't kill it this turn because of the Xenan Obelisk. So we're fine for now. Obviously, we're just going to block that. And then if we draw a torch, we win. Or if we draw a dig site, we win. So I'm thinking Heart of the Vault at the top of this might not be bad. There's the torch. And that might be a modification that we make pretty soon. I mean, the Power Stones are doing pretty well for ramping. Like, we're having a pretty good time getting up to the bigger stuff. So, like, maybe 1 or 2 Heart of the Vaults wouldn't be out of the question. I think I like that plan, so yeah, let's make a slight modification to the deck right now. Alright. But overall, I was pretty happy with the curve. There were some decent things going on. I definitely do like those Miner's Muskets early to sort of push some extra stuff across. The Pummel, I think, is probably gonna be a very good card, but I could definitely take that down to 3. And if we're keeping the Power Stones, we can either up Parapet Sentries, or we can go for the next step up, which is Heart of the Vault. And let's just put like 1 of at the top, maybe 2 of at the top. I'm feeling pretty good about the ramp. 2 Parapet Sentries, 2 Heart of the Vaults. Yeah, that's a little ambitious. I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to cut 1 Heart of the Vault, stay at 2 Parapet Sentries, and then we'll go for 2 Pummels, because that's a reasonable number of Pummels right now. Okay, so basically we're just trying to get a little more top end into the deck. Pummel is a pretty good scouting mechanic, and I'm actually kind of into it. I do like Ask for Directions as well, but I'm not sure if we're actually generating enough Explorers for Ask for Directions to be worth it. It's a weird card, and it's probably not a great card. We can always use the Scout Relic as a replacement, or just more Power Stones. But I'm kind of interested in playing around with this card a little bit, so we're keeping it as a 1-of for now. Alright. So the Hooroo, and we'll just play some more rounds. Okay, here's round 2. Looks like that is interesting. I can't really play a 1-power hand, but I do like those double lucky Prospectors. We'll go ahead and redraw here. I've got Trailmaker, which is just a great way to ramp out a Sandstorm Titan. I've got Crest of Impulse, which is going to pull me the card that I want. Yeah, overall, like in terms of aggression, this looks pretty solid. So Crest of Impulse first. Second Trailmaker is pretty good gas. I'm kind of down with that, I think. Gains influence of my choice, which I don't particularly need. It does give me triple fire for Heart of the Vault, but maybe I should go for another Explorer or a better Relic. Nah, we should just try and draw gas right now, because we're going to be playing Trailmakers every turn. That gives me a turn 3 if Trailmaker dies, and that feels pretty good to me.
This'll do the trick.
So grab the fire. And then Sandstorm Titan next turn. This looks like it might be a deck running Auric Runehammer, or it could be something else. We'll see. Ah, Granite Waystone. Okay, so that gets us a free Granite in. Can't really do anything with that just yet, but attack for 2. Okay, there goes the Annihilate. We're just going to throw the Sandstorm Titan down. And next turn we'll have a second Sandstorm Titan. This deck could be running Vanquishes. Seems fairly likely it is, in fact. Alright, there's Slay. So this deck is definitely going to be running like sort of a lot of aggression. Sandstorm Titan here makes most sense. And then I can either Trailmaker Grenadin or... Oh yeah, this is looking pretty good. Okay, so I like attack for 5. See if we get another Annihilate or something. Island's Choice, seems fine. Okay, so Trailmaker here gets me up in time. Oni Cavediver likes relics, and we definitely have a relic for it. And Granadin, of course, is just a Granadin, so nothing wrong with that. I'm a little worried about Lightning Storm. Maybe I should have thrown the Obelisk early. But nope, we see a Suffocate. That card would have hit me regardless of whether or not I had an Obelisk. Praxis Banner looks great. Obelisk here. And there's 5. Control decks like this are going to run out of juice eventually. We do kind of want to push them into using their harsh rules late. I think in this case I'm going to have to just sort of behave as though they don't have a harsh rule. Let's Pummel. I'm going to say this one. Now there's a chance of a removal card coming down. I got a Torch on top. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Straight units are actually better than torches for me right now, but... Alright, we'll go for the Monolith Guardian. It is an 8/8. It forces Harsh Rule if he's got it. I don't love forcing Harsh Rule here, but... Okay, that turns my Monolith Guardian into a 7/7, because I still have a relic. It's a cursed relic, but it is a relic. So, 7, 8, 9, 10. And a Torch there. Looks like we might have a Backlash. Unseal. Okay, so he's got one more chance to make this work. We'll see what happens. Sabotage obviously gets nothing, and that's the end of the control deck. Good tempo decks just don't run out of threats, so that's what we're looking for. Obviously, I do, like, this is a situation where I do think that Heart of the Vault is really important, so I think that we do want to maybe top out a Heart of the Vault as a 1 or 2 of, and I think that was a pretty good idea, including 1 or 2 of those. So, we'll play again. Now, the thing that's really pleasing me about the deck so far, and about developing this deck, is that we have a pretty decent amount of consistency, because we have so many scout abilities that it's very easy to get ourselves up on those particular setups. It's very easy to draw the cards that we need whenever we need them. Lucky Prospector is a great card to have 2 early 1-ofs, and I love this Heart of the Vault with the 2 seats and the Granite Monument. I think I keep this hand, even though Lucky Prospector has a chance of getting blown out by, say, Vara's Favor. I really need to pick up a relic for that card for it to be good. So we're going to see if this consistency actually does pay off. Hello, Lucky Prospector. You look like you're going to get torched right now. Justice Sigil, and we see a Champion of Glory, so yep, really need that relic. We'll go ahead and play the second Lucky Prospector and see what happens. If I don't find a relic, then this gets a little rough. Alright, you got your 3/3 Endurance.
You're not fit to rule.
Crownwatch Deserter is pretty rough. Obviously, I'm going to want to trade with that as soon as possible. Trailmaker, I'm very happy with. We'll grab extra Fire Influence, and then I can play Granite Waystone and get my Granite in. Looking good. Don't really want to attack right now. We're kind of just staying put for the moment, but we might be able to get something working soon. No blocks there. Temple Raider will probably come down.
I stand ready.
Ask for Directions is pretty cute. Alright, so let's go for Temple Raider. We'll scout right now. And that Obelisk is absolutely what we want for our next draw. That enables the Endurance guys and is just very solid in general, so I'm down with it. No blocks. We're going to take some hits there. Not much to tell about that.
I stand ready.
Second Auric Sentry is a big deal. Now if I want to attack with everything, I'm pretty happy to. This guy's Trailmaker's probably the most likely to just fall down a hole, so we gotta be careful about that. But honestly, I think if I attack with these 3, I feel pretty good. And Ask for Directions, of course, gets put back into my hand, so I get to scout again. Are we going to see the 3/3 block anything? Torch kills that. Bit of a bummer. Ask for Directions will scout. Now we find a Lucky Prospector. More Endurance units seems like a really good idea here, so definitely going to go for that. Alright, now I've got blockers for every one of his units. He can certainly play some tricks and kill some of my stuff, but Heart of the Vault's a very good way to sort of answer that and help out. I don't know how I feel about Rise to the challenge here. He could be picking up just about anything. Lots of interesting Warcry cards. He's got a lot of Warcries stacked up already, so if he finds a really, really good setup, that'll be bad for me. I think I'm not going to attack with Trailmaker here. I don't want to trade for it, but I'll get that Ask for Directions. Sure, sure, and sure. Now we Heart of the Vault. Let's just kill an Auric Sentry, I think. And Dig Site will return something. Whereas Lucky Prospector will do just good things for me. We've we've got the upper hand on board against a Rakano deck, which is a pretty strong indicator that the tempo side of this deck is working. We're actually getting the pressure that we want. Obelisk is doing work, like we're getting a decent setup, and the lucky prospectors are having a really good time. I had some difficulty getting a relic this time around, which I don't love, but okay, that silence is meaningless, but I understand. We definitely want to answer that flyer, and Parapet Sentry is the only way I can currently do that. Let's go ahead and go with... that flyer is really dangerous to me. Maybe I should dig site that immediately. I think first things first, I'm going to ask for directions. Oni Cavediver is probably good enough to keep here. And then we will play the Praxis banner. If I dig site anything, what will it be? Dig site the 5/4, and he doesn't have good blocks against the 7/7, which is important. That makes the most sense to me. So now I get to attack with all of these guys, and also my 3/2, I think. I think we're just going to push with as much damage as possible. If I want to put that Cavediver away, I certainly can. Alright, we see that block. I has to double block to kill the Heart of the Vault, which is an important part of this. Okay. He's not risking the flyers. Lucky Prospector is going to be pretty helpful here. Oni Cavediver... You know, Oni Cavediver is quite good, but I'm not sure if it's like... Basically what I need to do right now is attack in and win before that thing kills me. So maybe I ask for directions here. I think I've committed to Cavediver at this point, so we're not gonna re-ask for directions. We've already seen what we want to see. Obviously that 5/5 is very scary. Ask for directions here. Another Cavediver. This time around I'm going to toss that. I have no need for that. So we will go ahead and play Cavediver, I think. Swing with everything first. That gets asked for directions back, so we're very much in control of what the top card of our deck is. Okay, we got the block on the Valkyrie. That's really, really good for me. Because it means that we're now so far ahead that basically he's relying on Silverwing Familiar to get him the win. And if that's what happens, then we're going to probably just beat him down with nothing but gas. Because we're never, ever going to draw a power again. Block here. One of our Prospectors dies. We get our 7. Cavediver. And I'm going to... Yeah, let's go ahead and use Cavediver's ability. I don't need a power right now. It's nice to have it for Xenan Obelisk, but I don't think I want to try to draw 2 power. I want to win this game. Okay, I no longer have 2 Explorers, so I'm not getting good ask for directions anymore, but he has to stay put and block essentially both of my units this time around. And with a second Xenan Obelisk, that's looking even worse. We'll ask for directions, see what we get. Fire Sigil, at this point with 2 Obelisks and me like not really being in any threat, I'm kind of into it, but maybe I want a Torch instead. Yeah, I think we're going to just play the Obelisk here. Swing for 8, swing for 6. He can block 1, but he can't block both. Okay. And 3 games in a row, this deck has done basically exactly what it wants to do. I think it's relatively consistent. Certainly more testing is required, but I'll leave it to you guys because I am headed out for Christmas. So yeah, I think overall good initial sort of test run. And it was fun to sort of try that out as a YouTube thing. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to put this video together and get it up before I leave, and that will mean that we should have something for tomorrow as well as Saturday and Sunday, and then I'll be back around like Monday or Tuesday, so hopefully we'll just have videos every day for the Dusk Road. Yeah, So I'm excited to be doing more Duskroad stuff. There's so many new archetypes to explore, and I'm very happy to figure out exactly what all I want in them. A couple more, since we generally do at the end of our brews, ideas on what to change around. Obviously, this is a deck that can potentially benefit, well, maybe not obviously, can potentially benefit from Azurite Praxis, a very strange card that may or may not be really, really unplayable. If you are doing sort of a Sentinel thing with Sandstorm Titans and Heart of the Vaults and the Monolith, I believe it's called, what is it? Monolith Guardian, then you can also discard cards like Dawnwalker to that setup, and in addition to using all of your explorers. So that's one way to go about it. I think that Miner's Musket is a pretty good increase. Remember that relic weapons are relics as well, and that's a really important thing to evaluate when you're looking at what relics are important. Amaran Shoveler I'm not so down on, but it's certainly optional. Like, if you want to increase the tempo of this deck actually does a really good job of getting to the big sentinels. So you'd basically like cut down a little bit on some of the more aggressive strategies, but you'd still stick with those explorers, and you'd run the relic that cares about explorers, which I believe is called Eye of... It's a hybrid card. Mysterium Orb, +1 maximum power for each explorer, and your sentinels have endurance and overwhelm. Obviously, we have quite a few good sentinels here. If you want to go further into the high end, you increase the number of Parapet sentries, you increase the number of Heart of the Vaults, and then you use Mysterium Orb to pop out that last big sentinel, which I believe is called Novaquake Titan. So yeah, like there's a lot to explore here. I think that Explorer Tempo is going to be a real deck in a very short period of time, and I was happy to do this sort of initial draft. The list for this will be down in the description below. If I forget about it, kindly remind me, but it will be up there as soon as I can get access to it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a really good night. Feel free to like or subscribe if you like this video, and I will see you all with more Duskroad content soon. Bye!